to another episode of the Posh Pescatarian. I'm really excited about today's episode because we're going to take a quick trip to Venezuela and we're going to put together a really fantastic dish called Pabellón Criollo. Now this dish traditionally uses shredded beef, but we're going to substitute the shredded beef for sustainable seafood in the form of sea scallops and shrimp. It's going to be fantastic. Now you are not required to pack a bag, but you are required to bring along your appetite and your sense of adventure. Can you handle that? I thought so. Let's go. Okay, first things first, let's talk ingredients. We are making Pabellón Criollo, so that means a couple things. It means beans, it means rice, it means plantains, it means seafood, and it means sofrito. Now, Pabellón Criollo means Creole flag in Spanish, and the dish represents the various races and ethnicities that exist within the Venezuelan community, and I want to pay tribute to that. So what I'm doing is sticking with tradition, and I'm going to use regular long grain white rice. Although I traditionally use brown rice, white rice is what's called upon for this particular dish. We're going to cook this with some olive oil, a little bit of cumin, and some garlic, and it's going to come out perfectly. Now, black beans is another key ingredient to this dish, and you've got the option of either cooking your black beans from scratch or using a can. Whatever the case, I want to make sure you put lots of cumin and lots of garlic in the dish because, again, very essential ingredients to this overall dish. Cumin and garlic and lots of good yumminess. Now, the other thing you're going to need is going to be a plantain. It looks like this. It looks like a big old beat up banana, and that's exactly what you want it to look like. This plantain is dark, that means it's going to be sweet, and that's exactly what I want you to try and find, a really ripe plantain, because when we cook it on both sides, it's going to get really nice and caramely, a little bit crispy, and be really, really perfect for the rest of the ingredients. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is going to be the sofrito, which is really the basis, the tomato base of most Latin fare. Now, what I'm using is green onions, some cilantro, a couple of different bell peppers, some onion, and peeled and seeded tomatoes. I'm going to saute this, and then we're going to add our seafood, and it's going to be really, really perfect. Okay, that brings me to my next point. Our seafood. We are using two sustainable forms of seafood in the form of shrimp and sea scallops. Now, I'm using about 4 shrimp and 4 scallops per dish because I'm cooking for 2 people, but you can use other kinds of fish as well. Just make sure it's sustainable. Everything else you need for tonight, you're going to find on the ingredients list coming up next. Okay, so let's start cooking. I've got my beans on. They're simmering. I'm going to add some more spices to them and then taste them to make sure they're perfect. No double dipping. Just a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit more cumin. Now I'm going to take my spoon. Okay, let's give these a taste. Now let's start our rice.
Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Bolívar cuando era niño tuvo un sueño promisor de ser cuando fuera grande.
Okay, our rice is on its way. Let's start the sofrito and the seafood. We're going to start by adding about 1.5 tablespoons of oil to our pan, and then all the rest of the veggies go in.
Padre libertador, Bolívar cuando era niño tuvo un sueño promisor de ser cuando fuera grande el padre libertador. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. No más
shape. Our black beans are done, our rice is complete. I just turned our seafood over. I've turned the stove off so the residual heat can complete the process. And now I'm going to show you how to finish the plantains and the avocado sauce. Let's get going.
De todo tu sufrimiento. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida. Quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida. Quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Con su genio y con su espada desafió todas las pruebas y su luz en Carabobo construyó una patria nueva. Con su genio y con su espada desafió todas las pruebas y su luz en Carabobo construyó una patria nueva. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. En su caballo palomo galopaba todo el día y en las tierras que pisaba hasta el yermo florecía. En su caballo palomo galopaba todo el día y en las tierras que pisaba hasta el yermo florecía. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Viva Venezuela, mi patria querida, quien la libertó mi hermano fue Simón Bolívar. Yo a Venezuela le digo al final de esta canción que cuando pienso en Bolívar se me enciende el corazón. Yo a Venezuela le digo al final de esta canción que cuando pienso en Bolívar.
Okay, so now for my favorite part of the show, and you know it is, tasting the fruit of my labor. Now, I'm often asked to describe the cooking style that I employ, and the best way to describe my cooking style is eclectic. I enjoy the flavors and cooking styles from around the globe, and I consider every opportunity in the kitchen an opportunity to take a mini vacation. Tonight we're in Venezuela, a couple weeks ago we were in Morocco, and tomorrow I'm thinking about going to Jamaica. Really quick, really simple, really easy, and the only thing stopping me is a couple of spices and a few peppers. Okay, let's get this tasted so I can send you on your way because our flight from Venezuela leaves very soon. So I've got here some of the shrimp, some of the scallop, and everything else I possibly can get on my fork. And I'm going to give you a blow by blow. 1 second. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is perfect on many levels, and here's why. The rice, moist, succulent, delicious. I can taste everything, the olive oil, the garlic, the cumin, fantastic. The beans are smooth and moist and creamy, just like I planned. This plantain is crispy on the outside, sweet and moist on the inside. Perfection. My seafood, along with this avocado salsa, nothing could be better. You've got to make this. If you don't have a budget to go to Venezuela and you don't have time to go, this is the next best thing. For the Posh Pescatarian, I'm Stephanie.
Al final de esta canción, que cuando pienso en Bolívar, se me